Father God, thank you so much for waking each and every one of us up this morning. Thank you for being our strength in times of need. Thank you for leading us and guiding us with your word. I pray that you open our eyes to anything you want us to know and take with us throughout our day, throughout our week, the month, the rest of the year. Just continue to nurture us. Continue to help us grow and be more like you each and every day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I did want more people to join because today I really wanted to do like a heavy conversation based session today. So I guess they'll join when they get up. So we'll see, but we can start. I'm going to share my screen and we can continue from where we left off on Friday. So we did leave off on here on this yeah. We left off on this slide basically talking about relationship roles. I know that today session 3 was supposed to be about the relationships between the parents and the kids, but I kind of wanted to finish this, and then we can also really tie this slide into that um, as well. So when we talk about the relationship between a woman and a man within a household, how is that supposed to look? What does it look like now, and how should it look? And then we can even throw in the kids in there. How does the relationship between a woman and a man affect the kids, and how does that relationship? And how does by it affecting the kids? How does it affect their relationships moving forward? So, like I said, I didn't really put much in these two boxes because I kind of wanted us to do that together. So, what do you guys think? Right now, how does a typical black household look, and what should it actually look like instead? Does anybody want to share what they think it should look like, the dynamics in the household? Good morning, Marnie. We were just picking up from where we left off on Friday, and I was just pretty much saying um, we want to kind of talk about how, or I guess the relationship roles between a woman and a man within a household, what it looks like now and what it should look like, and how that relationship affects the kids and maybe their relationships down the line as well. So y'all see in the woman section I put submit question mark. Y'all know why I put the question mark there, because I feel like men, they want women to submit, but we are always the ones taking care of everything. We are always the ones in survival mode. We are always the ones holding everything together. So if all the pressure always falls on the woman, it's hard for a woman to submit, especially when a man doesn't know how to properly lead because he wasn't taught that. So people say women are supposed to submit, and I believe that women are also supposed to um, lift up men and comfort and pour into them as they're doing what they are supposed to do. We know that women are more emotional beings, so that's, you know. And then for the men, well, we know that they are supposed to be the lead, the head, but we don't really see that in today's society. They want to argue and compete with the women, and they are supposed to fight and protect, quote unquote, right, or to make their woman feel safe. And as women think more emotionally, men think they're supposed to think more logically. Go ahead, Dakara. What do you think?
What you were just saying basically reminds me of like my mom and dad situation. Basically, like my dad's upbringing, he seen the way that his dad act, which kind of caused him to act a certain way. And basically, with that being said, the whole idea of a woman is supposed to be submissive. And my mom didn't grow up like that because she had a single mom. So it's like that's not what she's seen. She's seen more of like an independent woman, strong, doing things on her own. So it's like for her to be with my dad, and he's not used to that. He's used to more of a submissive woman, and for her to just kind of follow up after whatever he wants her to do, it was just not her thing. And that's like growing up, I was confused on why my dad acted the way he did. But once I like found out like a lot of like family past or family history,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of just makes more sense as to why he is who he is. Because you're kind of like a product of your environment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also that's like why him and my mom didn't work out, because she's not about to just go for none of that.
Right.
And yeah, he ended up getting like married to someone else, and she was a person like that for him. Like he kind of just met his match, and she allowed a lot of things. So this is like definitely, I feel like that's kind of typical in a lot
Mm-hmm.
of cases.
So what do you, how should the households be ran? Like, what should the roles look like, or that relationship between a woman and a man look like?
Honestly, like not to really say 50-50, but I feel like both men and women should have the same qualities.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you need the help, like I'm here. If you can't meet this requirement, I can help you when you're down in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, cause like that's definitely not like kind of what my dad would do. He thought that it was okay to just simply provide, like when it comes to money or something. But like when it came down to like the quality time and like the upbringing of
Mm-hmm.
me, he wasn't really there in that aspect, because that's how he seen it. He seen his mom taking care of him and his siblings, and his
Right.
dad was probably just being the provider and giving money. And it's just like that's not enough. Honestly, I feel like it should be both. You should get your both parents should provide, both parents should be there emotionally and all these things. So in my opinion, like honestly, I do feel like things should be 50-50 in a way. Kind of just like I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Yes, I agree. Go ahead, Marnie.
Hey, sorry, I'm driving y'all. But I did want to chime in on the percentage thing. Realistically, I know we are, the new age is the 50-50, right? Um, but realistically, sometimes it's not going to be 50-50. I feel like you should take the number off of it. It's about the partnership. And when God designed marriage, He designed it for covenant. Covenant is something that's sacred. And so the partnership is being so equally yoked that wherever you kind of lack, I am stronger in those areas. Because sometimes I'm not going to be at 50%. I might be at 30%. And you might need to be at 70 or 100. And sometimes we might be at 50%. And sometimes my quality might exude me to be over 50%. You know what I'm saying, in certain areas. So I just feel like, of course, I feel like whatever works for whatever household. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel like that is the main issue in our Western marriages now, our fleshly marriages, is that we get away from the blueprint that God put out for man and woman, and what our duties are, and what we are here actually for, which is service. And so when you serve and when you are yoked, the percentage part kind of dwindles away, because only flesh keeps track of, well, I did dishes and this. Well, I such. And so I did 10%. And you only bought, well, I only bought, we keep score. You know what I'm saying? And First Corinthians, one of my favorite scriptures is love is patient, love is kind. And one of the main things in there, it doesn't keep score. So we are of flesh. You know what I mean? We are of humanity, and we, have free will. But we have to constantly tell ourselves to tap into. We have a whole blueprint that we can follow. We just have to willingly follow it and include it, like you were saying, Kennedy, in our lives on purpose. Like, just go to it, because we're so used to kind of just doing our own thing, you know what I'm saying, and kind of just coming off of impulse, responding out of our own ways, that we forget to pause, reflect, read, maybe go like, okay, how would he respond, or just not responding, at all until we get the word in us to figure out how would Jesus respond in this situation.
I think when she was saying 50-50, she was just kind of saying what we were talking about last week, because we kind of did touch on that part last week a little bit, like the partnership part. So I don't think she really meant 50-50, but I do agree with everything else that you said. Like, we shouldn't keep score. It should definitely be a give and take, a partnership. But I have like two questions for that. So one thing I'm gonna say real quick. So just it's like yes and no. Like, so with that being said, with everything that you just said, so do you think that there is no such thing as relationship roles? The other person is just supposed to pick up where the other person lacks? Is that
I think that there are roles. I think it is roles. It's God created woman, wife, or whatever, to be helpmeet, and to a description, is what we are here for. You know what I mean? And what they are here for.
So what's the woman's quote unquote supposed to do, and the men's quote unquote supposed to?
We're supposed to be they helpmeet.
Okay.
Proverbs 31 woman. You know what I mean? Like, and the man is supposed to be the head. A lot of the times that's not the case though. They like, okay, what you bring us to the table? What how much you got? How much you got on it? If I got this and you got this, like, okay, but I paid these bills, you ain't doing this. Like, why you not working? Like, I shouldn't have to take care of you. That's a lot of today's men. I'm not saying all, because all men don't move like that. But there are some men that do move like that. And so what I feel like, if we're practicing that, that is what our children will repeat.
Okay.
That's my take on it.
Okay, go ahead, Mom. And then Denise.
I agree with what both of you guys said. I think that the reason we go to the whole leader and submissive, or the roles thing, because we don't start at the correct point. So if you start evenly yoked, that also means that y'all go into this relationship with a common goal first and foremost. So once you evenly yoke with somebody and you understand that they're aligned, the two of your goals are aligned, your beliefs are aligned, your values are aligned, your morals are aligned, the direction y'all going in, all of that is evenly yoked and on the same page. I think that you don't so much think about leading and submitting. You don't so much think about roles. It's like, this is the goal, whether that's be spiritually, for our family, for our finances, whatever. These are our goals. How are we going to achieve these? And then you work towards how you're going to achieve those. And then you decide who's going to do what. And who does what should be based on, like Marty said, what are your strengths? You may yoke with somebody because your strengths are their weaknesses, and vice versa. Or y'all might have similar strengths, and then y'all might work together on y'all similar weaknesses. I think that people focus so much on the role and then who's leading and who's submitting, when you should take the focus off of the role and put the focus on the goal. That right?
Yes, that was good. Go ahead, Denise.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is, okay, because I've been working on, like I said, be trying not to just say, okay, well, this is what I want to say, but then saying something different. So, I don't know. I mean, because in my situation, I'm sitting here at one point working 2 jobs and going to school, literally helping the kids with their homework through FaceTime. My spouse makes more than I do, gets paid more than I do. I get paid every 2 weeks. He gets paid every week. Makes more than me. However, he wants somebody to be submissive. That ain't happening. Not here. Not when I'm buying the food for the house. Not when I'm buying the toiletries for the house. Not when the kids have been on my insurance since birth and you are enjoying yours. Not when I'm providing clothes and shoes and coats and whatnot for the kids. No submissiveness is going on over here. And what else? Still coming up with half of the mortgage or more of the mortgage. And ain't no way in hell, excuse my French, ain't no way in the world you should be lacking nowhere on paying no bills. You have 3 days off or 2 days off. I literally felt like you got custody of the kids and I only see them on Sundays and Mondays. Because of the fact of me working these 2 jobs, because it's Tuesday through Saturday at one job and Monday through Friday at the other job. So what I do?
Let's also add I said I wanted to talk about the kids as well. I just didn't put it on this slide. So let's put that in there too. So how do you think that your relationship or relationships in general affects the kids and their relationship with other people?
Well, I know it affected the relationship with them and they did, because I was like, as much as I used to want to sit here and talk about him to them or around them, I'm like, you know what? Let me let them develop their own perception of their dad. And they did that at a very young age. And this joker run around here talking about you turned the kids against me, this, that, and the other. No, I ain't turned no kids against you, nothing. The kids see how you is and they see how you are. Anytime that you here at home, and the only time you here is when you don't have no money to go out. So you in this room with the TV up to 100 on your phone and telling them to leave you alone because you in here sleep. No, you in here on that phone and you got them AirPods on isolation so you could talk on your phone and do whatever it is that you do. And the other person just can't hear what's going on in your background. But soon as you get some money, what you do? You up and out this door. You ain't bought the kids no food to see if they hungry or not. All you care about is self. You would rather pay your materialistic stuff, such as your truck note, or go out and back and use some Gucci shoes or some Christian Louis Vuittons, than pay the light bill. I was finna cuss, but
Lord, okay, no cuss. So let's extend the question. Dakar, I'm gonna let you talk.
Yeah, because my thing is now, and I don't think these men believe in no 50-50. They want to be taken out on dates. They want the flowers. They want cards and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And to where the woman's supposed to still be able to take care of the whole household and not get nothing.
So, yeah, let's add the keys in here. Go ahead, Dakar. I'm going to let you go, and then I'm going to extend that question to everybody.
So what I wanted to say, it kind of touches back on what she just said regarding, like, she never told her kids the way that their dad was, because that's definitely how my mom was. She never wanted to, like, speak down on him around me because she wanted me to have my own, like, perception and relationship on him. But like she said, like, they kind of figured it out at a young age, and I totally agree, because when I was young and, like, because of course, like, my mom wanted me to have a relationship with my dad, but it was kind of just his fault as to why it did not work out. Because, like, a lot of the times when, like, she would tell me, like, oh, like, you're gonna go to your dad's house, I used to, like, feel some type of way because I was not used to being with or around him. So it's kind of just like I'm just about to go with this man and just go be with him. And it's like we don't have no type of bond or relationship, especially like how me and my mom do. So it's just like, I don't know, the fact that she said like she would try not to kind of put that on the kids and like show them things for how they was is definitely common. But it also, to me, it's kind of like, because as a kid, I was confused. Like, I didn't know why I felt that way. I didn't know why I didn't want to be around my dad until I got older. So honestly, I feel like sometimes I do wish that my mom would have like kind of communicated to me, because it was a lot of things that even happened as a kid that was just like, dang, like, why did this happen? Like, for example, one of many things, like, my dad even forgot to pick me up from school. And I'm just like a little kid. I don't know nothing that's going on until I got, and then as I was like kind of growing up and talking to boys, things are happening like that I'm confused about because I didn't have my dad around to teach me like, okay, look, this supposed to happen, this supposed to happen. And as I got older, I just kind of seen things for what they were. And finally, my mom started to tell me things, that went on during my childhood. For example, my dad said something like, he didn't know how to spend time with me because I'm a girl. Just a lot of crazy stuff. And yeah, I don't know.
So, how do y'all think that? I don't know
Wait,
what.
wait. And let me say one thing, because this is what I wanted to comment on Friday, but I wasn't able to. Let me say this, and then I'm gonna let you say what you're gonna say, Ken.
Okay.
So, and another thing, the whole thing of no, find something else. A man being able to love, a man can't give you anything that he hasn't had. So if your mother basically pretty much abandoned you at 9 or 10 years old and put you out there in survival mode, your dad was not around you. So can't give you can't give something to someone else that you never developed, that you never had really. And when you go being me trying to fix this person and show them this and show them that or whatever the case may be, then you hear the words out their mouth of, I love you more than I love my own mama. You the first woman that ever showed me love and this, that, and another. No, whoa there. Wings, you ain't got to say all that, but, and it's like, yeah, so the way that person acts is like, okay, yeah, this is not the way, and then you claim to be Muslim. I'm like, yeah, no, this ain't how Muslim people treat their spouses. Nope, find something else. I'm like, this is not how Muslim people treat their families. And it's always, no, you don't love me because you don't even know what love is.
Yeah.
You really don't.
Yeah, we definitely did talk about that. It's hard for other people to love you if they don't know who God is themselves.
Yes, because I told him, I said, you don't even know what love is. I said, what is love? Why do you love me?
Go ahead,
You
Mom.
can't even say why you love me, but go ahead.
Go ahead, Mom. And then after y'all speak, y'all can put your hands down.
I just wanted to bring it back to the question. I think that a lot of people have I was going to say excuse, but I can't speak on other people's relationships, whether it's an excuse or not, or a necessity or however they feeling. But I see situations where people stay in relationships for, or they say they're staying for the kids. But as far as how it affects the kids, one of the reasons I believe we have these dysfunctional relationships, or we grow up as dysfunctional adults pairing with other dysfunctional people and end up having dysfunctional relationships, and then we display that dysfunction in front of the kids, is because once you realize that you are not aligned, you don't leave. So you have all this going on in front of the kids. They see it, they pick it up, they're raised in it. So
They think it's normal.
they think it's normal, and kind of like Dakara was saying earlier, it's like her dad, he did what he knew how to do. So that's what you're teaching the kids. You're teaching the kids to mimic your behavior, and whether or not they know what they know is wrong when they become an adult, but if bad habits were so easy to break, nobody would have bad habits. So they have this habit instilled in them on how they're going to conduct themselves in a relationship. So I know that marriage is a spiritual thing, and divorce may be not what God would agree with, but what do you do when you realize that you are not yoked, you are not aligned, you guys do not have the same goals? There's even like a lack of respect, and all this is playing out in front of the kids. You have to think about how those kids' lives are going to turn out, how their relationships are going to turn out.
Exactly. And yes, I definitely agree. And like you said, I know a lot of people or some people might try to combat divorce or whatever. But honestly, like you said, the moment you realize that this isn't what God has for you, that is the moment that you should break away. Because first of all, if that's the case, then y'all probably shouldn't have got together in the first place. But since you did, you stepped outside of God and you did that on your own, which brought a lot of stuff with it clearly, because that's not what God had for you. So I feel like in that moment, a divorce is a thing. It should be a thing. When people try to say like they don't believe in divorce or whatever you just said, I agree with that part. As it relates to the kids, I definitely feel like the way that they were raised or what they see plays a huge part in their relationships with other people. We can even go into the whole thing with like we talked about the woman picks up all the slack in some cases, and then she has a son and he doesn't see the proper male image, so he thinks that that's what a woman is supposed to do. So I think somebody else kind of said this, like I think Denise said it, like you're looking for a mom in your relationship, and that's not okay. That's not how a relationship is supposed to be ran. So I definitely do agree with that part. I don't know if anybody has anything to add, but I kind of wanted to switch gears a little bit. I had a few different points and a few different questions. So, first, I'm going to start off with y'all know, like the term boy mom or whatever. Like, the mom is more soft on her sons than the daughters, and the daughter is the one that's supposed to cook, clean, and do all of this and be that. And she has like high expectations for the girl, and she has like lower expectations for the dude. And I seen something. It was kind of funny. It was like a joke, but it was kind of serious because they was like, we all got that one uncle or that one family member that just stays at grandma's house or stay with his mom for his whole entire life, and nobody ever says nothing. Like it's always, if y'all pay attention, like I feel like that's true. It was a joke, but it was kind of true. Like we all know that one person that just stayed with his mama for his whole entire life, and she don't really have high expectations for the son as she does for the girl. Like, what do y'all think about that? Why do y'all think that is? Or do y'all think that's even a thing?
Speak on it, boy, mom.
Right, because Marty love her sons. Here she goes, y'all. She finna go in. Go ahead, Marty.
Don't be calling me out, y'all. So I'm gonna say this. I experienced that with my mother. So it was me and my brother. And so, but now that I am a mother and I am grown, my mother, she was soft with me, but her discipline, she didn't play with me. But that's because I had a mouth. So I was doing stuff. So I did deserve, like, Lenny didn't play with me. But my brother was more docile. He was not mouthy. He was very laid back. He was a lot like child. He didn't have Tootie. He just didn't. And so the parenting was different. And I do think she was, I don't want to say she is older, but the parenting style was different. She was more so on her toes with me. Like, anything that I said, she was right there. For my brother, he didn't act like me. He was the total opposite, much more laid back. And so she did coddle him a lot more than she was with me. I mean, because for me, I was in grammar school talking about, I can't wait till I get my own place. I just kept saying that, like, throughout high school, I can't wait to move. So, and my brother was not. You know what I mean? So, I think it depends on the child. Like, I have 2 boys, and so I am very overprotective over them because of a lot of reasons. However, I push them because I don't want them to be, I know we having transparency moment. Like for my oldest son, his father was the type of father that if I'm with you, I'm going to father. If I'm not with you, I'm not going to father. But hence, that was the pattern with the women previous, you know what I mean, previous me. Although I was because I was a teenage parent. So therefore, my mind wasn't even there to dissect further, you know, along with the individual that I was matching with because I was 17. However, I pushed them hard to be productive potential husbands and head of household. I don't want to put a bad product out there. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you need to do this. I need you to come to the table. So you don't need her table necessarily. You know what I mean? You're picking not off of desperation and what you don't have in link cards in Section 8, and you're picking because you actually desire her and you want her to be with you, not you need her for the Bible. So that's how I raised my son.
So you didn't, well, since you said that, you didn't really answer the last question. So do you think the household or the relationships that are shown between a woman and a man or the parents affect the kids?
Yes. Because we're our kids' first teachers.
Right.
And it's not what we say, it's how we behave. And so
typically in a black household, I'm saying typically because of course everybody's not different. I mean, everybody's not the same, but typically in a black household, how does the relationship between a man and a woman affect the kids? In what ways? Like, what are we seeing that, you get what I'm trying to say?
We're seeing disrespect. We're seeing demasculine. You know, if the male is not in his role, if the woman is more masculine in the relationship, the daughter is going to be more masculine. The father is a resemblance of the son. And it'll cause later on down the line the daughter to have not respect for the husband or the father because the mother doesn't. And she's seeing the mother work in a masculine role. If the sons are seeing the mother in a masculine role, they will take towards the mother because the father is not performing. And so you have the mother raising the son to be a man or using on uncles. If you have that, you know what I mean? What if you don't have that? Uncles, grandparents, friends, or whatever the case is. What if they are not surrounded by a community, a male community, masculine community? Then the mother is teaching them do's and don'ts, have money in your pocket, keep your hair cut, all of the things that the father is supposed to do but lack thereof. And then they put the stigma that black women are difficult, angry, controlling, all of the things, but we have to be in those roles because the other part of it is, what do we do? Let them fall by the wayside? Wait until you get it together and have a come to Jesus moment? Want to find mentorship, which a lot of you all don't, and when I say you, I'm not talking about nobody on this line. A lot of you all don't have or feel like I need help, and we all need help. And so I have been blessed as a woman to have a circle, a tight circle of amazing friends, family friends, you know what I mean, that stand for something. But it's a lot of people that don't have that. They don't have real friends, real circles, real stand-up people, morals and values. They don't have that. They have send-off people or people that demise them in the first place, or they're lost people, direct lost people. You know what I mean?
So we can come to the conclusion together, everybody, if you don't agree, you could chime in, that the parents, or I guess you could say the woman, is harder on the daughter because they're both women, and since she had to be hard, she's raising her daughter up the same way. And since sometimes we don't really see the male figure in the black household, that the boys get more to be, I guess we are more lenient with the boys. Go ahead, Dakara.
So I kind of agree on that. For example, both my mom and my grandma have one girl and two boys. So growing up, my mom kind of had that like tough act on her, and then my grandma was a slight bit more lenient on the boys, being the fact that like probably like, oh, I understand you don't have this father figure around, but I am trying to like kind of bring y'all up as a man. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like in my opinion, it was kind of a sort of a, like, not feeling bad, but in a way, like, she, like, kind of was like, oh, you don't have a father figure, so I'm going to kind of give you a little piece of, sentimental, versus with my mom, she was, like, a little more tough on her for whatever reason. And my mom, she didn't like that. So growing up, she always said, like, when she have kids, she's going to make sure to treat them all equal. And that's exactly what she does. Like, it's not really a difference on how hard she is on me versus my brothers. Sometimes I do feel like I see, like, I don't know, for example, me growing up, I always got really good grades. And like my brother, he's like a 7th grader, and he's not having the best grades, but that's not, in my opinion, that's just like a different person type of thing. Like, I'm just a person who would get good grades, and he's probably not that type of person, because my mom brought us up all the same, telling us, like, it's very important you get good grades, do this, do this, do that. So my mama treated us all very equal. But of course, she does have to show some type of toughness for them. She can't be too soft because they are young men at the end of the day. So she don't want them to just kind of, not have that aspect like, okay, that I need to be hard, or I need to make sure I'm a little tough. So honestly, her being like that, it kind of also, like, it got poured onto me that I should also be tough in some situations too. So I don't know. I feel like, honestly, it's like an equal amount of, like, I need all my kids to be like this, especially coming up in Chicago. Like, we all do somewhat have to have kind of like a guard, or like just kind of be tough, like take up for ourselves. And we also have uncles around, so that's also kind of like my brother's father figures in a way. So yeah, it's definitely about like your circle and who's around. Like they say, it takes a village. So yeah.
Go ahead, Mom.
I just want to say real quick, because I think that maybe none of us, I don't feel like the question was answered. Maybe because that hasn't been anybody's experience on a call. What you said about the daughter part made sense. Like, a mother would be harder on her daughter because she's raising that daughter in her image. But I'm trying to figure out, like, a woman understanding what she wants and needs from a man, what would make her raise the boy in a softer manner? Like, I don't know. I'm not a boy mom, so I don't get that, and I really get the answer to the question. But Marnie is saying, like, she don't raise her boys that way, so she couldn't really answer the question. I still don't understand, like, why a mother would spoil a boy like that, knowing that that boy has to go out into the world and be a man.
So I be doing my research. And this is the call for the end in like 10 minutes. Okay, I just got a notification. Okay, I've been doing my research, and this no shade to you, Marnie, promise. But I feel like all boy moms, quote unquote boy moms, are gonna say this, and maybe I feel like I don't know, like I don't want to sound shady or anything, but I just pay attention, and I see things like I see how my grandma acts with my dad. I see how my great grandma acted with my granddad and my uncles, and I feel like they're gonna all say like, "Oh yeah, I don't raise them like that. I don't da da da." But then who did it then? Like, let's be honest. One, two. To answer the question, Mama, I think that a lot of people say that because the male figure in the household is lacking, some women unintentionally, not again, it's probably unintentional, but some women look for a man within their son, if that makes sense. So there might be softer and more nurturing to the man, to the son, because they are missing out on that love with a male figure, if that's making sense. Like, you know how like some dudes, they be like, or not some dudes, like it's like a thing. They be talking about it on the social media. They be like, boy moms treat their sons like their boyfriends. And I think that's a thing. I don't think it's intentional. I don't think they're trying to be like weird or like, you know what I mean? Some women might be, but I definitely think that that is because they are missing or they're lacking that love from a man. So they just kind of pour it out to their son or something like that. Wait, Denise, before you speak, somebody had their hand raised. Go ahead. Wait, hold on. Let me see, because I'm on my phone. Is that Sham? Or is that somebody else? Shamari, go ahead.
Yeah, got my full name on it
I
for
was
some
about to
reason.
say. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I got joined there. Yeah, see, my mama had 4 boys. Feel me? So like, she a real boy mom. She ain't had no girls. Like, and people around me from what I seen, like, they do act like that. Like, they do act like they want to see the man that they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Or they like were interested in. They act like that towards the boys. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, both parents do play roles. Like, everybody need a father figure. Everybody need a woman figure in their life. Like, my mom, she was good at doing, like, trying to play both, but she wasn't a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not a man, so she can't. A lot of the stuff she wasn't able to, like, do that a man can do. I love my mama to death, don't get me wrong, but like, so when I come to her about certain things, it how I put it, like, she'll explain things in like a woman way, like how a woman would do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though she trying to explain it for a man, she trying to do it the best. Like, but everybody can't play those because that's not what everybody was designed for. If that makes sense. That's how I get it. So like with a man, he got his role, he got his job. Like, everybody is supposed to do their thing. You feel me? But yeah. So that's what I got.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Go ahead, Marnie.
I know why. I mean, because when women are raising men, there's a fear factor. It's a fear factor of them going out and not coming back. You want them to be safe. You're thinking about pregnancy. You're thinking about gangs. You're thinking about drugs. And not to say nowadays it wasn't like that for women and men, well, girls and boys, but it is now. But that is a mother's fear of her son leaving the house and not coming back, being mistreated. So if he's not getting what needs to get in the home, you don't want nobody to make it worse. It's like, I'm shielding you from any bad treatment, any injustice, any type of foolery that could damage you even more, and let me kind of get in the middle and try to find people around you, depending if the mother is a masculine kind of energy or a docile energy, that matters too. So that is why I would feel that they would coddle their son, because it's a lot dealing with black young boys trying to make it past 18 or trying to even make it past 16 nowadays. So we do be on the battlefield like, you're not getting my son. Hence, my brother's life ended at 21. So those are the fears, because it's not for sure that they're going to make it back. We dealing with racism, profiling, a multitude of things. So I understand that is a thing of what we think about as boy moms. And then for the other, sorry, when I think about myself being raised, I had to roll the window up, sorry. I was both raised by both my parents. Both of my parents have dominant energy, and I am a product of them. So it is true, like the way you're raised and things of that sort. Like, so back to that, I realized that I don't necessarily feel like I treat them like a boyfriend. I treat them like I want them to treat themselves, like have self-respect. Take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Don't be stinking. Keep it tight. Educate yourself. Have self-respect. Stand up, put your shoulders back, things of that sort. Like, have pride when you're walking in. Be confident. You know what I mean? Take care of your business. So,
Denise, you unmuted?
not so much of a boyfriend, though. But go ahead.
I was just saying, Denise.
Yes. Okay. My thing is with me, no, I ain't getting ready to treat my son like my boyfriend, but he's also at the age where he's only just 11 years old too. So what I do is with that whole situation is I send him to my mom and dad's house so that way he could be around my dad. He doesn't want to be around his father. The thing is now, Dale does not like to sit with his dad, watch football, basketball, no none of that stuff, because his dad was in the household, but not in the household. Dale is not interested in football. I'm out here, me and Ranice out here at the park. I'm in a little thin dress strap, throwing the football like I'm a whole dude out here, stuff popping all out of everywhere. And I'm like, oh, wait, I forgot. Wait a minute, I'm in a dress. I'm like, I ain't supposed to be doing this. My son, literally about, 2 years ago or 3, just learned how to start standing up peeing. Because what? His daddy wasn't taking him in the bathroom to show him how to stand up and pee like a man. And I'm like, hold on. I'm like, I don't know how to do all that. I'm like, daddy. I'm like, your grandson needs some assistance here, sir. I'm like, because I don't know about none of all this. And he like, okay. He like, well, I'll show him how he's supposed to do it. I'm like, and so I'll go to the store as I get the girls their Bath and Body Works. I go get Dale his Bath and Body Works and his colognes, and when I go to the store to get they soaps, I go to the store and get him his own little man soap. I'm like, all that other stuff for the male to do, I'm like, and as far as what Dale is interested in, that's just what Dale is interested in. And then when his daddy get mad and go talk about he shouldn't be sitting up here playing with no pipe cleaners, trying to build nothing, this, that, and the other. Okay, well, you wasn't here to show him how to be interested in football, basketball, to ride a bike, no none of that stuff. Leave my son alone.
Okay.
Let him be.
All right, y'all. Okay, we're gonna wrap up. It was still some other questions that I had, but I know this is a deep conversation, so I just want to do a recap, basically, of the points that we make to get some type of common ground. So we all agree that a relationship between a woman and man, it should be a partnership. We should not be keeping score, but we should always be first equally yoked before anything. Y'all have to come in with the same type of mindset. That way it's easier to pick up the slack from the other person if they are lacking in any areas. And we agree that it's harder. The roles are hard because of the lack of, I guess, people to look up to or role models. And we know that that starts in the household. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess we made those points, but I guess we didn't really come up with any type of solutions when this does happen. I guess we could just say it starts in the household. It starts with the marriage, with the the parents, and then it trickles down into the kids and what they see. And then if things go left or they feel like they're no longer aligned, that's when the separation should come, and the kids should be able to see a healthy co-parenting relationship, I guess, so that they still have those values instilled in them for when it's time for them to get into their own relationships. Um, does that kind of, what y'all think? Did that sum up everything that we talked about? Thumb up or down, or you could type it in the chat or whatever y'all gotta do. Um, should be equal. All kids should be raised to take care of themselves. Yes, yes. And then I also wanted to say, while Monty was talking, accountability too. Like, we need to be teaching men accountability and responsibility. I feel like that also goes into why the boys or the sons are always so codependent on the mom, because we're not teaching them responsibility and accountability. And I had a question in here about, like, why does the, like, you know how, like, if the parent, they separate the kids, they always stay with the mom. And then I seen, like, this one lady, she made the kids stay with the daddy, and she was just living her life, and everybody was in an uproar. And it's just like, well, she actually made a good point. Like, why the kids can't stay with the daddy too? So I don't know. Maybe that's like a responsibility thing, accountability thing. But I don't know. I had a few more points. It wasn't that many. It was like 2 more. But tomorrow, I did want to actually stay on this slide for today and talk about the family household dynamics. So we did good with that.